The second you stepped onto this street, your face was scanned. It was checked against a secret watch list, and a computer decided if you're a threat. Every unique feature, the space between your eyes, the bridge of your nose, the curve of your jaw, was turned into a digital signature, your faceprint. This isn't a scene from some dystopian movie. This is happening right now on the high streets of Britain. And for some, that split-second digital judgment has devastating real-world consequences. For Sean Thompson, a community volunteer who works to prevent knife crime, it meant being wrongly identified, surrounded by police, and questioned for nearly half an hour. He called it a stop and search on steroids. This technology, live facial recognition, is being rolled out by police forces across Britain. But what they aren't telling you is they're using a shocking legal loophole to do it. There is no specific law in the UK that actually governs its use. In this video, we expose how your face is being tracked and the legal gray area that makes it all possible. So, what is this tech that can pick one face out of thousands in a crowd? It's called live facial recognition, or LFR. Think of it like a digital lineup, but one that includes every single person who walks past a specific camera. These cameras, often mounted on police vans, are becoming a more and more common sight from London to Greater Manchester. The Home Office recently announced plans to deploy 10 new LFR vans across 7 different police forces. The system works by capturing a live feed of faces and comparing them in real time to a police watch list. If the software thinks it has a match, an alert is sent to an officer on the ground, who then decides whether to step in. The official line is that this is a targeted tool for catching high-harm offenders. These watch lists are supposed to contain suspects wanted for serious crimes like rape, violent assault, and robbery, as well as registered sex offenders who've broken their conditions. Police are quick to show off their successes, with the Metropolitan Police claiming that LFR has led to hundreds of arrests in the last year alone. The National Police Chiefs Council insists the technology helps them do their job, allowing officers to find suspects quickly and accurately. They argue every deployment is based on intelligence and is both proportionate and necessary. But this brings us to a massive question, one that gets to the very heart of the society we want to live in. Is this a vital evolution in crime fighting, or a dangerous and uncontrolled attack on our most basic freedoms? When you hear about a technology this powerful and this invasive, you'd assume there's a law for it, a specific act of Parliament, debated by MPs and checked by the public, setting out clear rules. But there isn't one. That's the shocking truth at the center of this whole debate. There's no specific law governing how police use facial recognition in Britain. Instead, it exists in a legal gray area, a murky mess of general data protection laws, broad human rights principles, and crucially, non-binding guidance from the College of Policing. This guidance suggests how the tech should be used, but it's not the law. It's a rule book that police basically write for themselves. This lack of a proper legal framework has been slammed by privacy advocates, legal experts, and even the courts. In a landmark 2020 case, the Court of Appeal ruled that South Wales Police's use of facial recognition was unlawful because it violated privacy rights and data protection laws. Even the government admits there's a problem. They've repeatedly said they intend to create a clear legal framework to build public confidence. But while they talk about future laws, police forces are doubling down. With the Met Police planning to more than double its use of LFR, this is putting the UK on a worrying path. While the European Union has passed its AI Act, which heavily restricts real-time facial recognition in public places, Britain is running in the opposite direction. Post-Brexit, the UK is becoming a regulatory sandbox for mass surveillance, an outlier among democratic nations. Campaign groups like Big Brother Watch argue that police are exploiting this legal vacuum, turning us into a nation of suspects without any democratic green light. So, what's really at stake here? Why should you care if you're not on a watch list? The classic line is, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. But that argument completely misses the point about the threat of mass surveillance. First, the technology gets it wrong. The case of Sean Thompson is a stark reminder that false matches happen, forcing innocent people into humiliating public stops. The Equality and Human Rights Commission has warned that data still shows black men are disproportionately triggering alerts compared to the population. Second, and more importantly, this changes the very nature of being in public. It flips the presumption of innocence on its head. When every face is scanned and checked against the criminal database, we are all treated like potential suspects. Our freedom to move through our towns and cities anonymously, a right we've long taken for granted, is dissolving. This creates a chilling effect on our freedom of expression and assembly. Would you feel comfortable attending a peaceful protest, a union rally, or a political event if you knew your identity was being logged? And the mission creep is already here. This tech isn't just for policing anymore. It's spreading to the private sector. Retailers are using it to build their own watch list of suspected shoplifters. It's being tried out in transport hubs and even schools. Baroness Shami Chakrabarti has warned this tech has been developed pretty much completely outside the law and is a step towards a total surveillance society. Your biometric data, your faceprint, is as unique as your fingerprint. The difference is, you can't leave your face at home. It's being captured, processed, and stored, often without your knowledge or consent. Even if you're not a match, your image can sometimes be held for up to 31 days. This quiet rollout makes a level of surveillance that was once unthinkable outside of authoritarian states feel normal. Against this backdrop of creeping surveillance, a resistance is growing. Civil liberties groups like Big Brother Watch are leading the charge, calling for an immediate halt to LFR use. They've pulled together a cross-party coalition of politicians and human rights groups to challenge this dangerously authoritarian surveillance. Right now, they're backing a major legal challenge against the Metropolitan Police, with Sean Thompson as one of the claimants, arguing its use of LFR is unlawful. The case, set to be heard in the High Court, argues the technology violates our fundamental rights to privacy, expression, and assembly. The Equality and Human Rights Commission has even stepped in, stating its belief that the Met's policy is unlawful and incompatible with European human rights laws. These organizations aren't just fighting in the courts. They're on the streets, documenting deployments, supporting people who've been misidentified, and trying to wake the public up. They believe the government and police are banking on public apathy, hoping that most of us won't notice or care until it's too late. This fight isn't about being anti-police or anti-technology. It's about making sure that any tech used by the state has our democratic consent, exists within a clear legal framework, and has strong safeguards that protect everybody's rights, not just those on a watch list. The takeover of facial recognition isn't a done deal. The law hasn't caught up with the technology, and that gives us a critical window to act. The organizations on the front line of this fight, like Big Brother Watch and Liberty, are taking on hugely expensive legal challenges. They're crowdfunding their court cases to hold the police to account and push for real laws. If you believe our public spaces shouldn't be turned into open-air prisons, now is the time to get involved. The first and most powerful step you can take is to raise awareness. Share this video. Talk with your friends and family about what kind of country you want to live in. Visit the websites of groups like Big Brother Watch to understand their campaigns and sign their petitions. If you can, think about donating to their legal funds. Every signature and every pound makes the fight to roll back this intrusive surveillance stronger. They are fighting for the privacy of every single one of us, but they can't do it alone. What we're all witnessing is a massive expansion of the surveillance state, happening right in front of us, but without a proper democratic debate. A powerful AI is being unleashed on our streets, fundamentally changing the relationship between us and the state. It's being sold with the promise of security, but the potential cost is our liberty. The choice is clear. Do we accept a future where our every move in public is tracked, analyzed, and recorded? Or do we demand that our privacy and freedom are protected by solid laws, not just police policy? The battle for the future of privacy in Britain is happening right now. It's time to draw a line in the sand.